Alrighty, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Chupacabra's Lair. I am your host, Larry the Chupacabra, and we're back for round 2 of the 7-day first-person shooter game jam challengification thingy. And, we're playing a game full of... What, are you fighting geometry class, Mr. Larry? Is that what you're doing? Did you forget your math homework at home or something, and you made up some bullshit, and now you gotta suffer the wrath of the geometry lords? Well, you're not wrong about all of that, honestly. But, we are playing a game called Surrounded for the first in our, series of crazy first-person shootery murdery stuff. And this is a game that's done up by a gent called Mr. Nickpfisterer. Fistington? Admiral McFisty-Knuckles? Things you'd find in emails from your friends that you made at band camp when you were 13 for 500, Jim. But, no, this is actually kind of interesting. It's billed as an alternative to, say, Geometry Wars. It's kind of like first-person shooter Geometry Wars. And, we're like, Tron, Ninja, Turtles, Fighter-Man, and we're facing off against various shapes. So we start off shooting triangles, and then we get some spheres in there, and then there's these croaky green things that start to appear, like I'm mousing over right now, and they don't like me all that much, and they explode when they strike stuff, and I think I hit a triangle. You can't hit stuff, basically. You gotta avoid a huge cavalcade of stuff. But there's something about this that I like the concept of. And I think the only thing that I don't think fits here, I mean, Larry, come on, man, you're a three-dimensional being fighting geometry. And there's one thing that bothers you? What? I'll get to you later, side voice. You don't gotta get so spicy this early in the frickin' showcase. But the only thing I don't feel fits in particular is this arena. It almost looks like an upraised hockey arena of some kind. And so I feel like in this sort of arena, it's really difficult to try to control where things are coming to touch your face. Because it's highly possible that in a game called Surrounded, for you to get ridiculously surrounded, because I'm being, like, chased by zombie triangles, and there's, like, 5 or 6 of them at any given time, trying to touch my square cryptid buns. For some reason, I'm just envisioning myself as, like, a square Minecraft Chupacabra type creature, running for his dear furry life in a world full... Okay, I got fondled by a spawning sphere. But yeah, I'm running for my dear merry, cryptid life, and it takes it a minute to load sometimes, and, stuff is trying to do stuff to me, and I'm not entirely okay with all of it. Some of it seems pretty cool, like those floating green gentlemen, they seem to know how to show a cryptid a good time. But I think that this game would really do well from being inside of an arena that takes you up multiple levels and multiple tiers in some sort of crazy geometric environment, and go on, like, trick shooting time challenges where you have to avoid getting shot, obviously. I mean, it wouldn't be a first-person shooter if you couldn't get shot in the face while you're trying to shoot, I don't know, trigonometry in the face. But I think you should also have to, like, I don't know, something almost like Reboot, where you're stuck in like a computer or a Tron world, and you've got to restart a hard drive, or like a system maintenance program, and the main hard drive is like some crazy three-dimensional dodecahedral monstrosity, and you have to fire off the viral nodes off the sides of it in various crazy puzzles and orientations in order to do the thing. I mean, obviously the setting could be different. I mean, not everyone wants to be Tron, and honestly most of the time neither does Larry. But I think, you know, some sort of setting where you're fighting in that type of a strange geometric arena that takes you in 3 dimensions, not just 2 dimensions, and shooting stuff, would be cool. And the other thing I really like is there's something about, like, this almost glitchy art style that I'm looking at here, taking a second, where it's kind of like offset colors. There's, like, this secondary aura around stuff. It's not very taxing on the computer, and I think it looks really cool. It's very retro arcadey, I guess is a good way to put it. Stuff explodes into little domes of stuff. It's got a very simple yet kind of laid-back, relaxed aesthetic to it, as you try not to get touched by triangles. Really must be what it felt like to be on Stargate SG-1 at one point. It's just like, are we gonna fight the Pyramid People again today, Mr. O'Neill? You dang right we are. What was the Jafar's name? I forget. Shooty Staff Man, do the thing. Do the thing, we're going through the wormhole, the trigonomic wormhole. Yeah, I like it, though. It's, oh, I got like a... Do I have a jump? I think I have a jump. Oh, I'm getting touched. Okay. Got distracted jumping. But I think this is an interesting concept. For right now, though, I think the main thing is to focus on is, like, how enemies spawn in. Because it's very much possible, as you're sort of letting them chase you around so you can slowly kind of handle the situation where you end up just running away from stuff and getting a safe distance and running into something that spawns, and that doesn't seem nearly as tactful. Like, maybe a bigger arena where monsters spawn in waves and you have some sort of mathematical way of determining if they're getting especially close to you. I'm actually going to see how many of these things I can just keep alive at one time and let just chase me. Looks like quite a few. Oh yeah. I wonder if I can lag this game out. Come on. Do the thing, everybody. Come on, show Larry what you got. Oh, I'm getting too many monsters. Okay. Wow, look at all that. Oh, now we're getting crazy time. I feel like Rambo. Geometric Rambo. Just call me the polyhedron of doom. Rockatol. Now embrace me, you fools! They touched me with their sharp pointy bits. I have no idea what the green things do either. But it's neat. So nice job, Mr. Nickpfisterer Ton the Fifth, Esquire. I don't know. Alrighty, next up on our cavalcade of awesome FPS stuff thingy-jigger stuffles is the Psychostrafe by XRA. A very sort of down-to-earth and basic shooter that has all of the hallmarks of something a little bit more classical. So here we are. We have a gun. We have some terrain. They're like barrels and walls and a gigantic three-dimensional light box that's full of textures, and we've got to kill all of these crazy, psychotic cyborgs before they put a bunch of bullets in our pretty cryptid face. And I don't know about you, but I have this tendency to enjoy it when my red, juicy, insidey bits stay on the inside of my body. Also be careful of explosions. Robots explode. Don't know if you saw that in the travel pamphlet before we came here, but, unlike Peruvian cyborgs, or, those weird steampunk cyborgs, I'm gonna guess these are nuclear cyborgs, and they tend to go explodey, and the radiation is bad for our skin. It'll clog up your pores, and you'll get, I don't know if you'll get, like, bad acne, or, like, blackheads, or something, but they might glow green, and it might be a little bit awkward when you go in for school photos. So I kind of like this. The gun has a real nice feel to it, even though it's just low poly. And the cyborgs, they have like a nice sort of, they get, what's the word? They kind of get knocked back, they get staggered, that's the term. And you can also shoot their heads off, which in a first-person shooter made for a jam is not always something I see, is like modular enemies that you can dismember in a way, in some way, shape, or form. Not always a thing. So I kind of enjoyed that. Now, there are some hiccups. For example, it looks like the bullets are shooting from my nostrils, or somewhere in the midst of my face hole, and that's a little bit strange. And you also don't really, in a game with so much cover, I'm not really provided the option to, crouch. Also, there's, like, words on here I didn't see before. Oh, it's prototype number 3. Excellent. So we're just going to run through here. I'm not sure if this map is procedurally generated or not, but it does go on for a little while before we reach what looks like the edge of the map. Now, I say I don't necessarily know if this game is procedurally generated, because you do spawn in sort of randomy spots about the map, but it seems like you spawn in a select set of them, so it's kind of samey, while being a little bit random at the same time. And it's also, I also kind of, oh, I got murdered right there at the end, you spicy cyborg, you. I also say that I don't necessarily understand if it's procedurally generated, because I jumped off the world, this is the edge of the world, and it looked like there was some sort of pre-rendered map or something, but sometimes it looked different-y, so I couldn't really tell you. But it does have like a nice feel to it, and really why I picked this game up in the first place was, hey, it kind of sounds cool. I mean, who doesn't want to go in... Oh, freaking explosions. You get me every time. I love you. You're so boomy. Oh, man. But I liked it because it felt a lot... I don't know if you ever played the original Solid Snake games, but as you started playing through the game, they had almost like a virtual reality thing where they trained you in the tutorial as to how all of the mechanics worked, how all of your, sneak attacks and everything worked. So you understood the stealth mechanics before you started sneaking through boats and enemy bases and murdering people by putting them in a full Nelson sleeper hold or something. And I get that vibe because, like, in that game, the sort of frickin' explosions, couldn't get out of there in time. The virtual reality was almost like you were in some sort of virtualized icebox where everything felt like a frozen box that glowed or something, Tron-like. And I kind of got that vibe from some of the terrain. It's kind of blue, it's kind of glowy, it kind of feels frozen-y sometimes. And then, of course, you've got, like, these blue robotic enemies that I could totally see inside of a simulation. But it's a good foundation for a game, and who knows, maybe you're like... Maybe there was, like, this grand vision from Mr. or Mrs. XRA. You're some sort of cybernetic political prisoner in a robotized future, and you've got to escape, or maybe assassinate the cyber rulers, or maybe like Brian Boitano and you had to go forward or back in time to defeat the evil robot king and save us all again. It's hard to say, but I like it. I mean, it's very simple. There's not a lot to do besides shoot a bunch of cyborgs, but it's not terrible. It's actually pretty tasty. You could totally make a thing out of this. It's almost like a very good foundation engine to start out with when you're making a first-person shooter. I mean, I've seen, like, proof-of-concept engines for early COD games and stuff. Yeah, I like this. Good job. It's tasty, and I really like it when you shoot the robots' heads off when, because they run around like a chicken with their head cut off because they're they're like a cyborg with their head cut off, and they're like, oh crap, lost my head, those are expensive. Man, my boss is gonna be so mad if he has to order another one off of Amazon. Alright, so we're gonna end this off by looking at the map to illustrate my point earlier. Oh, actually, no. This one is just a little hallway, so I guess it is sort of randomly generated. And obviously it's surrounded by this lovely, HDRI image of a city. There's like a monorail here, and there's some tall skyscrapers, and there's like a park. Is this from a movie? This could be from a movie. I don't know if there's a lot of monorails in different cities. Looks cool, though. Alrighty. Last but not least for, this 7-day FPS jam moniker number 2 is, 420 Blaze It versus Illuminati Game of the Year Ultra Edition Mountain Dew Doritos Deluxe. Or something. And, I don't know really what to say about this. It is a bit of a crazy mashup. But as I'm sure you can kind of tell from some of the background information you're reading right now, we are going to go into this abandoned hospital building and find this evil Illuminati thing, and we're going to be powered by Doritos and Mountain Dew and swag and YOLO and a bunch of other generic stereotypical idioms from first-person shooter gamer culture. It's a game full of tropes and stereotypes, I think you're kind of getting the picture of, and I was not expecting this. And I was actually tempted to write this game off as, like, just some 14-year-old kid who's really good at coding was just like, yeah, 420 Blaze it, YOLO swag, I'm the bestest. But that wasn't really the whole of it. So we fight these guys with memes over their heads, and there's a lot of screaming and a lot of different crazy stuff that's going on here. And there's a lot of Mountain Dew and Doritos around that we're hungry for. They're delectable. Gotta get me this. Come on, I gotta get the diabetes achievement. But yeah, there's like memes jump up. Jackie Chan's over here telling me this is not the right way to go. It's a little weird. And as I'm sure you can tell, this is a massive game all about internet culture, internet first-person shooty meminess, and 420 Blaze it no scoping. And it's weird, but it's funny. And I wasn't expecting to see a parody game. Like, I've played parody games kind of like this before, like jokey games that don't oh crap, oh, Admiral Akbar, it's a trap, why would you do this? I thought we were friends. Oh, there's Sonic, though, and YOLO, and explosions, and I'm out of ammo, and I'm dying, and everyone get out. Okay, I can't see anything, gonna have a seizure. This is a game that I was just like, the first 5 seconds, I was just like, I am going to have a seizure. I'm going to have 7 seizures, and I'm gonna have to go to the hospital or something. Oh, man. So, I'm probably gonna have to put a seizure warning up on the screen as this is loading in. But this is a game full of, like, the derpiest memes, and, like, all the things that people swear at each other when they play Call of Duty-type games, and, like, talking about doing unscrupulous things with your mother in the midst of the night, and on your bed, and in her mouth, and I'm sure you get the picture. But it just kind of talks about, in a way, all of the stereotypes that go into our first-person shooter culture, and how, in an odd way for a game all about sitting on your tuchus and not moving around a lot, how oddly macho this video game tends to be. And when there's really not a lot of skill involved in it, to be completely honest. Like, sure, it's all about having the fastest reaction times, and who's played a whole boatload, and oh man, a bunch of poorly green screened on effects from the YouTubes. I wasn't prepared to enjoy this game. I thought it was kind of derpy at first, but I actually started to really get a kick out of it. Right about now, really. Gonna get me some Doritos. I'm sorry, I'm supposed to pronounce the company's new product, their new flagship, the Dorito. The liquid Doritos that you drink, get all that cheesy goodness down your gullet in a frothy, sugary brine. And we just gotta run through here, like, shooting everything in the face for the most part, and Sonic, and PC Master Race. And I didn't show it, but in the starting launcher, the very top highest quality setting for this game, and all the graphics look the same no matter what setting you put it on for the most part, is the PC Master Race setting. Every level of this game is designed to be a trope about some stereotypical BS in this game. And somewhere in here, there is something that I really want right now. I mean, I need more bullets, obviously. One can never have too many lead hacks or bullets. Pick up all these guns. Oh, you can also scope, but there's not really a point. You can easily one-shot the meme box of everyone's head. What do we got? Come here. Yeah, so this is a game, I mean, obviously it's got a lot of what feel like stock assets probably picked up off of a Unity store. I don't know, but it feels that way. And, it obviously doesn't take itself seriously. Jackie Chan is on the freaking wall. What else do I need to say? So I have a katana now. I think you know what I'm doing with this thing. Gotta do the do. Sorry, it's for my sponsorship. Oh, crap. Gonna get murdered. I've got like 11 million skills, though. Oh, God. I don't even know who half the characters are popping up on my screen are either, so if you know some of them, I might want to use some of those in some of my own videos in the future. I honestly don't even. Oh, we killed Hitler, though. So we've got that going for us. Gonna stop the Illuminati. So anyway, guys, I'm going to leave you here before we have to fight through 20 minutes of more SWAT team members that work for the Illuminati. I've been your host, Larry the Chupacabra. Thank you for joining me for more showcase videos for the 7-day FPS. They're pretty cool games. I mean, I liked the concept for Surrounded. It was a very good baseline for a first-person shooter inside of the Psycho Strafe. And this game, it's a solid shooter, but it doesn't take itself too seriously, and it's trying to comment on the sort of over-the-top, kind of macho, toxic nature of what is essentially the first-person shooter genre. I think that's very spot on in a lot of ways. Oh, the swamp. Oh, nope, Shrek, get out of here. Get out of here with your spiciness. Thinking I don't see you and your BS. Frickin' scope you. Anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this series. I'm going to try, and for the next couple of weeks or so, just do different coverage of different games in general. So until next time, I've been your host, Larry the Chupacabra, and toodaloo. You ogre bastard. You think I'm not up to your shenanigans, sir? You think I don't know what's up?